To hell with MC Hammer, it's mace time! This thing has been quite a surprise for me. It's an Italian mace made by Windlass Steelcrafts in India, and it is very affordable. As far as his reproductions of historical weapons are concerned, this is quite cheap. It is offered for $85.50 at Kult of Athena. In general, you get what you pay for, but this thing is amazingly good for the price. So I've put it through hell, pretty much. I've done pretty harsh abusive testing, and you can probably see that, yeah, it did not emerge unscathed. The head is bent a little bit off to the side, but considering what I did with it, I really cannot complain. In fact, what I wanted to figure out when I did the abusive testing was if the flanges would fall off, if they are properly attached. As it turns out, I didn't need to worry about that. From what I can tell, it appears that they're probably brass brazed. And if you don't know what that means, if you're wondering how these are constructed anyway, I'll post a link to another video down below in the video description where I describe how these were made. That was not an issue at all. The flanges held up perfectly. What I did was basically hack at a wooden log, which was partially rotten, but still it's a massive log, right? So it's definitely quite a lot of stress for any kind of weapon, really. And through all the bashing, I did actually end up working my way through half of that log, which was quite impressive. It did a tremendous amount of damage. The shaft is made of a hollow tube, which is not historically inaccurate. Apparently there were maces made with hollow shafts. The issue with that is as soon as you get a dent in there, if something strikes the tube, then you have a structural weakness, and then it will want to bend in that direction. Of course, it makes sense to have a hollow shaft for a mace, because that saves you weight and keeps the balance further towards the head, which is exactly what you want. At first I was wondering if there would be some room for improvement by hardening and tempering the steel, although that wouldn't be feasible at this price. But I was not aware of any original finds of maces that were in fact hardened and tempered. So I double checked and asked Craig Johnson at Arms & Arbor, and apparently there really is no evidence of that. Maces like this were made of either iron or mild steel, so it is possible that they had to occasionally straighten them out, that some damage was simply expected. And to be fair, a bent shaft isn't really reason for concern in case of maces. It would still work and it's easy to fix, so no problem really. So there's nothing that I can fault this mace for in terms of functionality. When it comes to design, if you compare it directly to the originals, you may have some nitpicks, like the finish or the shape in detail might not be 100% accurate, but overall it seems close enough, again, especially for the price. It's still usable. You can't go full retard anymore, like I did, so to speak, but it would still, you know, in hypothetical combat, it would probably still hold up for a while. And otherwise, it's also pretty well put together. The leather wrap, can't complain about that. I cannot comment on exactly how historically accurate the shape is. I haven't really been studying maces specifically. Going by some pictures I've seen, this does seem to be reasonably close. Also in terms of weight, this is not too heavy, and that's very important. You don't want a massively heavy mace. It's going to be, you know, somewhat tiresome to swing anyway due to the balance. You don't want it to be unnecessarily heavy on top of that. So can't complain about that. The finish is fine. There are no flaws that I can see anywhere other than what I caused myself. It's all well put together. Finish is fine. There are no sharp corners anywhere where you wouldn't want them. And of course it looks nice. Again, I'm not sure how common blackened maces were, but on this one, not only does it look good, but it also offers protection against rust. So can't argue with that. And this would look good on the wall, but you can also have some fun with it. You can bash some coconuts and whatever else just to, you know, vent after a stressful day in the office or something. This would be great. Or if your computer has been pissing you off for too long, then yeah, have at it. End it rightly. And I hope my flippant mood today doesn't make this review too unprofessional. But then again, I don't normally aim for this style of here is a thing. I am going to talk about it in an emotionless, detached way for a while. So yes, in short, this is a good mace, especially for the price. This is pretty difficult to beat. I mean, less than $100. How can you argue with that? It works. It looks good. Well, not so much anymore, but you know what I mean. Quite easy to recommend. If you're looking for a mace and are toying with the idea of getting this, I'll post the link down below. Well then, thanks for watching. And by the way, since it's a recurrent question, no, I have never hit my camera. I can swing it around like an idiot. It's far enough away. I know what I'm doing. Sort of. Anyway, bye.